Welcome back, everyone. I'm Elise Randolph, joined by Mystical Might. We've got, as the kids are saying, a cracker here with Templis bringing a double ham Nighthawk, triple ham Loki, Stork's Feeple, double Scalpel setup at 0. What does the roadside have?
So Rote seem to have come with 3 Scorpion Navy issues, a Vulture, a Stormbringer, a Stork, 2 Scalpels to back up the rest of their comp, and 2 Skybreakers, I believe, to act as screening for the rest of their ships. So interesting to note that the Stormbringer and the 2 Skybreakers came in at about 20, 30 off the beacon, everything else at 50.
Yeah, so these Stormbreakers and the Stormbringer, Skybreakers, these Eden Com ships are going to have to screen off these Nighthawks very effectively here as the match starts. These Templis team, they're going to want to rush in and start applying their damage.
Yeah, we can see that. Sorry, I was going to say, we can see that Templis is already burning, and like you said, because the longer that they take to get in, the longer it, they're just tanking damage and putting nothing out. And we can see that Aurora in the Nighthawk is already about half shields against these SNIs so far.
Yeah, this roadside seems to have done a really good call. Like these Stormbringers and Skybreakers are screening so well. They're mitigating so much damage while they're able to pump everything into this Nighthawk here. This poor Templis team, they're going to have to kill a very tanky Stormbringer just as a screening cruiser. It's a very durable thing. You can see the Stormbringer and the Skybreakers are both going down because they need to clear this in order to run through the arena.
So I find it interesting. We see that the Rote Kapelle team, the SNIs, they've split apart a little bit. So they're not sitting next to each other. 2 have gone left if you're looking at the sun. 1's gone right. So they are probably about 90 kilometers from each other at this point. They're sitting quite far away. But in between the 2 of them, or the 3 of them, is that rush comp, so they can apply perfectly at the ranges that they're at.
Disaster has struck for the roadside. They just lost both their Scalpels. These ham Lokis were free. They weren't untackled. They got the webs on, and Snap killed them. Oh my god, double Logi frigates are down for part of a Nighthawk. Templis are just coming back at it. This is a horrible turn of events for Rote. They had such a strong advantage going forward. Now their tackle screening frigates are all dropping like flies.
So, yeah, I think it's just a case of the Nighthawk is so tanky. They spent so much in points just trying to pin them down, but you can't effectively tackle all of the ships that the rush comp has brought, that Templis has brought. So it's really difficult to make sure that all of your ships can stay alive, and you're not going to take that damage onto your Logi frigates. And we see the Logi frigates go down, followed by the Skybreakers quite quickly. So now they have free reign of that grid, and they'll maybe be able to trade the Nighthawk just now for the Scorpion Navy issue not soon after.
My gosh, Aurora in the Nighthawk traded his life for 2 Scalpels, 2 Skybreakers, and almost all of the shields of a Navy Scorpion. What a trade! The last Spartan in the squad from Templis are just on an amazing dumpster path right here, throwing Rote back behind them. This Scorpion Navy issue is going to go down. These guys don't have any active tank to speak of on here. They were hoping that their Scalpels would survive and bring them like just a little bit more shields through this. What a huge turn of events. Templis piloting incredibly well here. Just the fact that the Lokis were able to use their platform to web the Scalpels on the roadside and kill them just so fast. These Feeples also did a number on them. We probably didn't mention it too much. These Feeples were pretty much unchecked here because all of the screening tackle was focused on the Nighthawks and at least one Loki.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that we haven't mentioned, but you are right. Yeah, the Sweepers were free to run around the grid as much as they wanted. They didn't really take too much damage, so they were able to, get on top of the Scalpels without being worried about having to get reps from their own side. I did praise the battleships for splitting apart at the very beginning, being separated so that they're not easy to get on top of. Unfortunately, Proxy burned back into the middle of the blob, which put him in a prime position once those Logi frigates were dead, to kind of turn on him and kill him next. And both of the other battleships kind of reapproached the rush comp, which I don't think is probably the best play. I think they were cruise fit, so they did have, by all means, the ability to sit at range and just pile damage in, but not what they've decided to do.
I mean, there's only so much that you can do when you get rushed at by this. We've seen this Nighthawk triple Loki thing set up before. Tuskers flew it in a completely different way, which is kind of cool. They flew it in a heavy missile way, but no, this is the original version, the OG rush with the Nighthawks and the Lokis. You get so much control and so much damage out of these things ever since the Nighthawk buff and the Tech 2 missile buff. So many buffs are going into play to make this comp work, and it's amazing just to see how fast this Scorpion Navy issue can melt. Scorpion Navy issue, one of the tankiest ships in the game. It gets a resist bonus as well. It has 8 mids. It is a tanky beast, and it just got melted right in its face.
Yeah, I want to kind of question a couple things. It's the Vulture pick that I'm most, I guess, confused about or interested in on behalf of the SNI team. We see that Nighthawks aren't banned, and we know that they do a lot of damage. They still give you those links that you're perhaps after. Do you bring a Vulture instead of a Nighthawk if the Nighthawk is open?
I don't know. I think I just go for Storks instead of this Vulture. The Vulture, it's so costly for what it does. I think you're right. The Nighthawk is just better through and through. Maybe this Vulture plays a different role that we don't get to see. Unfortunately for this Vulture, he is going down, so he's going to die soon. But Fishbrain and the Stormbringer, we're talking about how tanky these cruisers are for how cheap they are. He's still alive. He's going to be the last one to go down, and he was right up in the face of this entire Templis team. Like, he was sitting on top of someone holding them down. They tried to kill him. They're like, oh, screw this. We're just going to go kill everything else instead. So you can really see just how effective this Edencom ship is for tackling.
Yep, I think Fishbrain may be going for the arena edge. He stopped moving at this point, though. He's dropped down to about 200 meters a second. So I think webbed by the Lokis, and going to be the last thing that kind of gets cleared off grid here. But no, I think another really interesting match, interesting take on the same kind of comp that we've seen throughout the day, bringing 3 Lokis instead of the 3 Nighthawks that we typically see. And yeah, unfortunately, I thought the SNAs may have had a chance, but doesn't seem to be the case.
I want to just say a quick shout out to Cyclohexanol, the captain of the Rote side. He broke the boundary, and just the record. He got 213 kilometers away by taking that MJD beacon. So really well done on him to get outside there, see what life is like out there. But unfortunately for his team, they're going to be ejected to the lower bracket. Templis are going to go on in swagger and max style. We're going to send it back to the studio so they could break down exactly what happened.